Hi everyone, we're Aaron and Jesse Skiles. I'm David and Valerie Peterson's daughter, so I'm really grateful to have gotten to grow up at New Hope Christian Church, and we are serving with Mustard Seed Network in Kyoto, Japan. So one way that we've seen God working really powerfully in the church is kind of just an overarching theme of watching the church take care of one another. Often when I tell people in Japan that we're here working with a Christian church, they're like, oh, there's not many Christians here. And that's true. Out of the 125 million people living in Japan, less than 1% is Christian. And that percentage is even smaller within the city that we're living in. I was talking with my friend, we'll call her Ayaka. She shared with me that as the only Christian in her workplace and as the only Christian in her home as well, it can be really easy throughout the week to lose focus on Jesus and really just want to please people. Do what will make them happy instead of prioritizing God first. But she said as she gets to come to church or when she gets to get together with her life team or other church members throughout the week, it really helps her recenter and remember, oh, Jesus is the one that I live for, and he's so good and merciful, and helps not only encourage her, but also encourage the other believers to stay faithful. I think one thing that I've gotten to see in God's character in our time here in Japan is him helping break my mindset of performance for God. I think it's easy for me to feel like I need to achieve for the kingdom or I need to do this thing for God, but God didn't bring us to Japan because he needs us. He didn't bring us because we were the most effective or the best people, but he invited us to be a part of what he's doing, and he invites all of you to be a part of what he's doing.
One of the biggest challenges we face in our ministry here in Japan is that in Japanese culture there is just this underlying sense that they should always be in agreement with everyone and that they should be at peace with everyone, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when we are able to share the gospel with people and we ask questions like, what do you think about that? Do you think this is true? Usually they just kind of shake their head and say, yeah, I think that's good. And it's really hard to get to those deeper questions and really understand if what they heard they actually believed, or if they really just want you to be happy because they agreed with you. Some of the different ways that we've been engaging the local community are through just daily life events. When Jessie's taking care of Kaisa, she likes to go to this thing called the Jirokan, which is like this big playground where lots of moms bring their kids and they can kind of run wild and make all the noise that kids do. And then other local mom groups that she gets to go and be a part of. For me, it looks more like going to the climbing gym, which is already something that I really enjoy, and it's a blessing that it's also an opportunity to meet non-Christians and people who haven't heard the gospel yet. Mustard Seed Network's goal is to plant 12 churches in 12 major cities of Japan by 2025. Right now there are 8 churches planted, with the rest of the 4 being planned and prayed for already. We pray that God would use those churches to spur on gospel movements in every region of Japan, and we ask that you would join us in praying for those churches. We believe that this is an effective way to spread the gospel here. When each of those 12 churches gets planted, over 60% of the Japanese population will have access to a Mustard Seed Network church. Prayer plays a large part in our daily lives here as missionaries. We also believe that prayer is the foundation of our ministry, and that God is able to do immeasurably more than all we can ask. Therefore, we pray that God would bring everyone in Japan to come to know him. But we also pray, like in Matthew 9:38, for the Lord of the harvest to send more workers. And that's actually a great way for people back in the States, for you guys to be involved with our ministry. We ask that you would join us in praying that God would send more workers to the harvest field to here in Japan, and that he would create a gospel movement here, and that the churches that we're planting would grow exponentially, and that people would come to have saving faith through them.